Hi, I'm Dr. Joanna Martin from ShiftSpeakerTraining.com, and welcome back to our 7-part series on the big mistakes that I see many speakers make. Now, I'm not talking about just beginning speakers either. Sometimes seasoned pros make exactly these mistakes that I'm going to be talking about here with you today. Now, we've already talked about mistake number 1 being procrastinating and putting off actually getting started with public speaking. Number 2, and I think probably one of the biggest mistakes, is mistaking a good talk for an effective presentation. Number 3, the third big mistake that we've spoken about as well, is not having an elegant business model behind your presentation. And number 4, the mistake I want to talk about today, is not building a community. Now, I see seasoned professionals to this day, people who charge for their speaking, corporate speakers especially, who have no community. They think that they charge themselves out like hired guns. They get a fee for their speech, or not. Sometimes people do it for free just because they love it, which is great. But you can't continue to love something if you've got no money in your bank account, because in the end, you're going to have to do something about that. Now, one of the first steps to being a profitable speaker is to build a community, to build a list of people who are interested in you, interested in your information, interested in what it is that you teach. Now, it doesn't matter whether you're a coach or a consultant, whether you're someone who does speaking and training as the main part of what you do, or whether in fact you're a business owner in a bricks and mortar business. Speaking will accelerate what you're doing very quickly, provided you use your speaking to build your community. What do I mean by that? What I mean is every presentation that you do, you need to make sure that it builds community. And there are 2 parts to it, 2 parts to building your community, and you might want to write these down. The first part is increasing the size of your community. So in other words, the size of your list. You might have heard marketers in the past talk about the term building a list, building your opt-in list. That is important, but it's only the first half of the puzzle. Having a big, even if you have 100,000 names and email addresses on your database, but the people who are on there don't know who you are, or all you ever do is promote stuff to them and try and sell them things, and you don't ever deliver any valuable content. If you have a big list like that, it's not going to be a profitable community that you're building. Equally, a tiny list isn't that great either. So you do want a decent sized list, but there's a second element. The second element is the relationship that you have with that list of people. So while step number 1 is to build up the list, step number 2 is to build a relationship with those people. Now, being a speaker, I think one of the best ways you can build a relationship with the people on your database is exactly what I'm doing right now, video. You see, many of you who are watching this video might have seen me live somewhere in Australia, the UK, or the US, maybe somewhere other than that, who knows? But they're the main 3 places that I speak. And so, of course, seeing me again in 3 dimensions helps. I think for speakers, you've got to learn how to use video. It's a very simple thing to do, and it's a great way of building a relationship with your list. You could send out a weekly tip, a weekly newsletter, much like we do, and just a video of you with a little bit of information about what it is you teach. Let's say you're a life coach. You could do a weekly life coaching tip. Perhaps you're an accountant. How about, a tip from me for the month? A little video, a little vignette, something that people can take and apply in their business. Give people a gift, give people some value. When people are learning from you, then they're going to feel indebted. They're going to feel, wow, if this person gives me this much information for free, can you imagine what they must know and how much they're going to give me if I actually purchase their product, if I actually invest in what they're up to? Do you know what I mean? So it becomes very important, I think, to build a relationship with people. So 2 key things. 1, build the list, but 2, build the relationship with them. Because your community is a function of both of those things, the size of your list and the relationship you have with them. Now, what you want to be doing is not falling into the traps that a lot of speakers do. One, not even having a list, just thinking that they're a hired gun. They'll go out and they'll talk and just their speech alone will change the world. Not really that smart. The second is you might be building a list, but you're not in touch with them. So make sure you do keep in touch with your list. Next thing I want you to remember is every time you go out and speak, even if it's at a corporate or an association or a public seminar, as long as it's okay with the promoter, so double check with your promoter, I think that's important and polite, but as long as it's okay with your promoter, make sure that you give away a free gift in return for details so that you can start to build your community. These people have been listening to you for half an hour or an hour. They care about you, they care about your information. They probably want to know more. So always give them the opportunity to at least give you their business card and permission to send them a newsletter or something. It's a really simple thing that you can do. So build your community. That's the important thing to take away from this. If you want some ideas on how that's done, please head over to my website. We've got loads of free information there that's going to help you to build your speaking business. To get even more information on how to build your community specifically, because I know everyone likes a good step-by-step plan, make sure you download your copy of the Presentation Profits Blueprint. And I'll tell you exactly how to do that in just a moment. Meanwhile, make sure you watch part number 5 of this 7-part training series. In part number 5, we're going to be going into detail about mistake number 5 that I see speakers make time and time again, and that is copying or mimicking other speakers. You see, one of the things about the speaking business is to be memorable, you have to stand out. And there's really only a finite number of ways that one can be different, so it takes a little bit of creativity. So I'm going to be taking you into how to stand out in part number 5 of our 7-part video training series. Once you've finished your training and you're ready for the next step, make sure that you sign up for our free Shift Speaker Training newsletter and get free access to your very own copy of the Presentation Profits Blueprint absolutely free. I've put together this blueprint to take everything that I know about how to create a successful speaking business and put it in one place. Inside the blueprint, you're going to discover the 7 P's for turning your passion into multiple streams of passive income using speaking and the elegant business model. The #1 marketing myth that speakers have to ignore if they have even half a chance of succeeding in the industry. The it factor for speakers and how ignoring this means that your speaking career is destined for mediocrity and no one wants that. We'll discover new ways to build your community through video, email and blogging, and how that can fast track your speaking success and give you more raving fans than you ever thought possible. We'll also show you why speaking is one of the laziest ways to wealth, provided you know how and where to leverage every scrap of effort that you make, as well as much, much more. So, in order to download your very own copy of the blueprint, take yourself to www.shiftspeakertraining.com/blueprint. Look for the sign-up form right there on the website. Enter your first name and email address in the box and then click on the button that says Get Instant Free Access. You'll then get a copy of the blueprint emailed directly to you. You can open it up and in it you will find so much information on how to take your speaking business and make it extraordinary. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video training very soon.